we have a little round table and we all pull up our clear chairs and we have a discussion. I'm just kidding. We don't like give each other ideas. I feel like there is an underlying like competition aspect to it. So nobody's talked about this, but they've actually demonetized us. We do get money from subs and bits, but they cut off our ad revenue completely. I think the newest strategy is that content creators, specifically girls that have millions of followers, will reach out to you and be like, hey, do you want to collab with me? And you're like, yeah, I would love to. And they're like, well, I only collab with girls in my agency, but if you sign up to my agency, then you can collab with me. And how it works is they take 5% of your entire income. And then the management also takes like, I think about 30%. So then they're getting a profit off of using their following to recruit girls to the agency.
How is that different from pimping?
It's not, and sex work will always be a thing from the beginning of time to the end. I would support her as long as she's safe, but I wouldn't want my kid doing it, obviously.
What advice do you have to a young lady fresh out of high school who's considering doing OF content?
Don't do it. Okay.
All right, everybody, I am here with Twitch streamer Novaruu, who recently went viral for showing a new Twitch meta, if you will. I'm not going to have that up there too long, but how are you doing, Novaruu?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am well. I've known you've been doing this adult content, for how long would you say? How long?
I've been doing it for about 6 years now on Twitch.
And how has your experience been like doing it? Like, do you feel like you've been well received? Has it been a great experience for you? A bad experience?
It's definitely had its ups and downs, especially like trying to make a space and name for myself amongst like other content creators.
And I imagine that the barrier for entry is hard, but you have recently created a hot tub meta, if you will. What has been some of your favorite metas that has recently got banned? And we can go from the, I think what was one, the black bars. Did you ever participate in a black bar ban?
No. So here's the thing. This whole meta where you had to look topless and go like that, I tried it. I don't have the boobs for it, but I do have an ass. So I ended up creating the ass meta, being inspired by Asian Bunny wearing shorts and having the camera focused on her ass. So I tried doing it in the hot tub section. And because it specifically says that cameras focused on intimate body parts at the time was allowed, as long as it's contextual, as in being next to a hot tub, I found the loophole and rolled with it and somehow it didn't get banned.
But you may have been lucky, but other people were not as lucky. I see Laura V got banned, and Morg Pie, as well as Asian Bunny and Amaranth. How in the hell did you not get banned when you started the meta?
So they changed the TOS and said you have 48 hours left. So my last stream, I did my chair meta that I was doing and had a timer going. And then at midnight, I deleted the VODs, deleted the clips. And I told myself I wouldn't be live the entire weekend because last time they changed the TOS, I saw how jumpy they were and they were just banning people to like enforce it. And I was so smart for not going live this weekend because multiple girls were banned for just the most absurd things and then unbanned within 40 minutes and banned multiple times. It was truly a ban-pocalypse.
That is unfortunate, but you have been banned so far, I believe 7 or 8 times. What is your most notable ban? Like, what was that first ban that got you?
My first ban was for wearing a sports bra in the just chatting category, because at the time, apparently that was a big no-no. How far we've come.
Yeah, y'all have come way far now. Who would you say is like a pioneer of pushing it? Do you guys have like a union? Do y'all all get together and say like, hey guys, this is what I'm gonna do this week. I'm gonna be the first person to try it, see what happens. And then if I don't get banned, then everyone else do it. Like, how does that work? Because you have to talk amongst each other.
We have a little round table and we all pull up our clear chairs and we have a discussion. I'm just kidding. We don't like give each other ideas. I feel like there is an underlying like competition aspect to it, who can like push the boundary the furthest, and people are just inevitably going to copy you. But when girls are messaging me and asking me like, hey, is this okay to do? I like am honest with them. I don't gatekeep things. I'm just like, I honestly wanted people to copy my meta so it could actually become a meta. It's not a meta unless other girls do it.
So you want people to do this is the clear chair cam, right? Is that's what you're calling it? Okay, I see.
As for who's a pioneer, I think Mork Pie really inspired me. She was really pushing the limits, and for a while I was really stuck doing safe content because I was just so scared of anything happening. And she kind of inspired me to start pushing the boundaries and seeing how far I could go with it.
Now, as far as pushing the boundaries, right? A lot of people have been pushing boundaries, but what do you say to like the criticism of the people who say you and others are ruining Twitch because their 13-year-old brother is on there and they're seeing half naked women on the homepage? What do you say to people like that? Now, me personally, them kids. Look, as a father, hey, if I raise my daughter to participate in looking at stuff she ain't supposed to, that's on me. But what do you think about the people who say no, it's the streamer's fault for showing it?
For one, I think it's up to the parents to moderate what their kids do online if they're under the age of 18. But secondly, I have an average demographic of like 25 and up. It's kind of my age and up. So I don't think I have kids watching. It would probably be like less than 1%. And if that's the case, I would rather them be watching my stream than the stuff I had to grow up watching. Like, I don't even want to name the names of the videos, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, back in the day before all the regulation took over, it was kind of like the Wild Wild West. And, Twitch at least has some moderation, whereas like other sites is like you click and you in there, no matter what age you are. So what do you think would be a solution for Twitch's TOS for adult content? Like, should they standardize it? Because it seems like they just keep updating. As soon as you go viral, all right, we got to nip that shit in the bud.
So nobody's talked about this, but they've actually demonetized us. We do get money from subs and bits, but they cut off our ad revenue completely. I should have probably made like thousands of dollars in ad revenue in the last month, but I actually made like 100.
Wait.
And that was from people watching other VODs of mine.
They demonetized the hot tub streaming
without
section?
telling anybody or announcing it. Yes, they've demonetized. I think it's either hot tubs or it's the sexual themes label, but either way, we're completely demonetized now for ad revenue at least.
And when did this happen?
On the 9th of March, and it just wasn't talked about at all.
What? No one even covered this?
Nope, nobody talked about it. And I do think that's valid because the solution to keeping content like this on the platform would definitely be to take away, because like the main issue is advertisers, right? Then don't put ads on our content. It sucks for us. I would prefer to have ads, yes, or even adult themed ads, because people that watch my streams are still going to buy things from ads. But I think that's a better solution to keep us on the platform. However, like restrict our content, make sure you have to click 18+, and also maybe be logged in. If they really want to get rid of us, they should just ban miniature hot tubs. I think that's a really smart idea.
Yeah, as I see, probably 95% of the people on that does the adult content has those miniature hot tubs. And it's probably like, I got a 4-year-old daughter. It's probably like the equivalent of like a 3-foot pool that people use and say, hey, I'm hot tub streaming.
Yeah.
That is wild. But the fact that they demonetize y'all and there's no uproar, there's no not even a Twitch TOS update per se that was publicized. How did it? Oh my goodness. Twitch is all right. What do you think of Twitch as a company? Because there's been massive layoffs.
I think they're doing their best, but at the same time, they're not. And there's so much more they could be doing, such as like specifically changing the TOS and being like, hey, we don't want this type of content on our platform, just straight up. The fact that they use such loose wording in their TOS that allows people to find loopholes, it's just not good for their business, I would say.
I'm gonna agree with you, because I don't know what the hell prolonged means. Like, hey, starting on Friday to 29th, content that focuses on intimate body parts for a prolonged period of time will not be allowed. So when they say prolonged, what is prolonged? Like, if you're if you're topless,
but I'm gonna find out.
Oh my! No, okay, you're gonna find out. Is that like a thing that everyone does? Do y'all just like, hey, I'm gonna push the boundary and see what prolonged is?
So the secret to creating like things and finding loopholes in the Twitch TOS, what I like to do is go live and try something new and just change things slowly one at a time. And then when you catch a ban, you can draw it back a little bit and get a little bit more creative. And you keep doing that until you find where the line is.
Holy shit. Now, why do you guys play the ban game? Because I remember seeing like Asian Bunny crying about being banned and, you know, not having enough money.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
To do some things, and then next thing you know, she was unbanned. But why like teeter the line? Do you guys feel like that Twitch will never permaban anyone?
Oh, I'm terrified of being permanent banned. And then if you get indefinite ban, apparently they cancel your subs too. So that's kind of really, really bad. And I don't want that. But I think it's been fun for me. It's not about the money. It's not about the fame, but it's just fun to see what kind of heights I can take my career to and how far I can take things. Like every time I do something more ridiculous, I'm just sitting there giggling like a little kid because it's so funny that I can get away with it.
Okay, so when you got away with the where is it at? With the clear chair cam, how excited were you? Like, what was that feeling like? I think you mentioned you had like 12K live yesterday. You had to be like a giggling and just happy, you know. How was that feeling?
It was just so funny to me. I was so proud of myself that I created something that was worth copying.
And this had I would imagine, a positive impact on your viewership, right?
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, I did a countdown stream in the last like 6 hours until the meta was banned. I made it, instead of it being like, oh no, I'm so unhappy about this, I made it a positive thing. I was like, I have a surprise for you at midnight. I'm going to play a little video and we'll just have fun and enjoy this while we still can. And because I did that, it took my average view count of like 6,000 to 12,000, which I've never in my entire career hit that high without a raid or anything. I think people just were so excited to see me excited and having fun. And just to see what the hype was about.
Okay. All right. So you had 12,000. Now you're probably going to go live today. It's April 1st. She didn't pull any jokes on me today. Do you anticipate 12,000 a day?
No, absolutely not. I think it was definitely a fluke, but I do anticipate at least getting like, I don't know, 4,000 to 5,000 today, perhaps more because I have an interesting plan. I don't know when this is going to be posted, but
it'll probably be posted probably tomorrow. Or it'll be posted this week. You know, my editing schedule is crazy.
So my plan for April Fool's today is I'm going to have the clear chair cam underneath for the entire stream and keep pretending I'm going to sit down on it. So everyone's going to be like at the edge of their seat waiting. And then I'm not going to sit into it until like the last 10 seconds. And then it's not prolonged. I'll put the prolonged on the screen.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, you never know. That 6 seconds or 10 seconds may be considered prolonged. Now, yeah. You just recently mentioned that Twitch secretly demonetized the adult-themed content. Now, I saw on your channel you're trying to get to the Partner Plus program.
I hit it. Yeah. I mean, well, I hit for this month. I need to maintain 350 for 350 non-gifted subs for 3 months.
Holy shit. Do you feel like you're confident enough to do it, to keep it going on? Or?
I think so. Like, a lot of people are coming in for the shock value. Like, she's sitting in this clear chair, but then they stay and I'm just like, beep, 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 beep. And then they're like, wait, she's kind of interesting. I'm going to stay. I get that a lot.
Oh, well, hey, that's actually good. You know, when I was covering the XQC, a lot of people left. I'm not going to lie, but some stayed. So I'm grateful for those who stayed. Now, when they went to the sub rate, they cut that shit from 70% to 50%. What type of impact did that have on you? Do you get the majority of your money from Twitch, or is it from like your paid adult content?
So Twitch has always been 50-50. That's always what I've gotten. And they recently introduced the Partner Plus where you'll be getting 70-30 if you can maintain 350 subs that are non-gifted and I think non-prime as well, which is actually surprisingly kind of challenging to do, especially, but they do have different tiers. Anyways, so, sorry, hold on, my fish tank. 1 second. It's peeing. So I think for most girls, the reason we make OnlyFans is because it gives us another place where people can support us, and they take even less. They take only 20%, which is still a lot, but it's still better, and it's a way to like engage with your fans. So most girls do an OnlyFans for that reason. Okay.
Now, speaking of OnlyFans, right? What do you think about the people who subscribe to your OnlyFans? Like, or some people say, if you subscribe to Novaruu's OnlyFans, you're a simp, you're an incel, you're this, you're that. They kind of like subscribe bash, if you will. Me, I don't care. It's their money, their choice. They do whatever they want with it. But what do you think about the people who bash the people who may be supporting you?
I think that the reason I created OnlyFans was I made it in 2020, a long time ago. I did it so I can connect with people on a more like personal level. And I do my own DMs. I don't have management. I actually despise management with a passion. I think it's really predatory. So yeah, I don't know.
Let him cook.
You despise management.
I do. And I don't have a problem with people that subscribe. I think that people just want to connect to their favorite content creator on like a more personal level.
Okay.
And I do despise management.
All right. So when that brings up something interesting. There is a strategy out there outside that's being used where you may be an up and coming OnlyFans girl and you like, well, I need to get attention. So you like, I'm a partner with or date some famous streamer and I'm going to use their audience to promote my OnlyFans. What do you think about that strategy for growth?
So I've never really seen anyone actually do that, but I think the newest strategy is that content creators, specifically girls that have millions of followers, will reach out to you and be like, hey, do you want to collab with me? And you're like, yeah, I would love to. And they're like, well, I only collab with girls in my agency, but if you sign up to my agency, then you can collab with me. And how it works is they take 5% of your entire income. And then the management also takes like, I think about 30%. So then they're getting a profit off of using their following to recruit girls to the agency.
How is that different from pimping?
It's not. And I think it's really disgusting that men just try to find a way to somehow get a piece of the cake, and no matter what women are doing. Like, I understand that some women just don't want to touch their OF at all and just have people do it for them. But I think that takes away a lot of the experience for the viewer and also the model as well. And I definitely would never have a management company. I think it's just gross. If you were, I would suggest perhaps like if you do have a large following and don't like doing it, getting an assistant, someone you know in your life, that would probably be a better avenue to do that, but not management and having people overseas write your account. Okay, so
there was there's a famous YouTuber, I believe. I want to say, give me the guy who does Raw Talk. You know that guy? Raw Talk podcast. This guy, Bradley Martin.
Oh, okay. I've heard of him.
Okay, so Bradley Martin has a management company.
What?
You didn't know this?
Everybody does. Little Pump was in my DMs for a while trying to get me to join Pump's Playhouse.
My God.
I like every content creator you've ever known has messaged me, even Rice Gum.
Yeah, okay.
Just everybody.
What do you think? So you despise management companies, right? But what's the Raw Talk guy's name? Oh shit, I just forgot it. Bradley Martin, right? So Bradley Martin has this thing where he'll take someone who's doing OnlyFans, right? And I only know that he did this once, so don't come for me, Bradley Martin. With some girl, he brought her up. She was making roughly $10,000 a month or something, right? And then next thing you know, she was making $100,000 a month because he put her through his management program. He had her on his show. He managed her OnlyFans. He paid for all the photo shoots. And then it came time to pay up, and she didn't like the terms of the contract.
Yeah, because a lot of these contracts are really predatory. So how they do it, from my knowledge, some agencies will just be like, hey, we'll take 30%. Some are sliding scales. So they're like, okay, if you make 100K this month, it will go from 30 to 40. If you make 200K, it's going to go to 50%. And I've seen contracts that go up to 60% of the model's income. What? Mind you, OnlyFans also takes 20%. And it just, at some point, is that really worth it, Plus, not to mention that, like, let's say if you're like 1K under 200K, who's to say the agency isn't just going to put an extra 1K in you, like literally money launder so that you pass the quota so they can take a higher percent from you. The whole concept just seems so predatory, and I've heard nightmare stories about it.
Okay, so you're anti-management for forever. So I can't sign you to Resilient Management anytime soon.
Resilient management. I mean, I wouldn't say like I'm completely against it if it were done right, but the problem is you can't mass scale content creators and also their fans and have a still consistently good page where you have like connections with your viewers. It's just not really sustainable.
Oh.
And I care about my fans. They've supported me through the last like 6 years of my entire career, and I don't want to just like do anything like that to them.
Yeah, you've been doing this a while, so shout out to you. Now, speaking of money, what was the most money you ever made in a month? I just thought you guys were monetized, so I'm like, oh shit, she's fucking Scrooge McDucking it out here. I made $1,000 in 3 hours covering XQC, and I was like, shit, this is money to me. I'm happy I bought a camera. But what's the most amount of money you made in 1 month? I don't need your average, but everyone has that outlier month where you're like, shit, I crushed it this month.
On Twitch?
Or whatever.
I don't share my OF income.
Okay. So what was the most on Twitch?
Twitch, the thing is, like, even at my like peak, I'm still making not anything close. I would say, okay, so last year when I was like averaging lower viewers, I was definitely averaging maybe like 1,500 to 2,000 if I was streaming consistently, and then I hit 8,500. It was my highest I ever made.
Holy shit.
But that's on top of also making income off of OF too.
Okay.
And I will say Twitch is basically like I don't even think about that money.
Okay, so OF is the lion's share, right?
It's the what?
The lion's share, like the most of your money comes from OF?
Oh, yeah, for everybody, I think, actually. It's just really hard, and Twitch also takes 50% of subs, so.
Okay, now, I see you came from Finland and all this good stuff. How does mom and dad feel about this whole, this career choice, if you will?
So my mom and I have a really good relationship. We talk a lot. She's always supported me through no matter what I've done, and she knows pretty much everything I do. So I'm very open, even in my personal life, to her, like about crazy things I've done. She says as long as I'm like healthy, happy, safe, that's all that matters, and she'll support me. My dad, he still lives in Finland, and I'm not really in communication with him apart from the occasional text. We have had a bad relationship since I was 15. It's not related to the content I do. It's just he wasn't ready for a kid when he had one and wasn't a great father and kicked me out at 15. So I don't really have a desire to like have a relationship with him. Hey,
I feel you on that. I don't talk to my dad either. And I saw him at his sister's funeral the other day. They're like, there go your dad. I'm like, who? But anywho, all right. So, bad relationship with dad, great relationship with mom. Now, recently, Amaranth, right? You know Amaranth. She had a viral moment where she talked about, I have a daughter. She said, hey, if she had a daughter, she would want her daughter to do OnlyFans. What do you say to that? I know you're in the industry. And would you agree with her, disagree with her? Because me, I am like, I'll tell you my response after I hear yours.
Okay, so I mean, I'm kind of on my mom's mentality where I would just want my kid to be safe and doing what's happy for them as long as they're doing it in a safe way. However, I'm going to be honest, and maybe this is not a traditional approach. Oh, I mean, maybe it's too traditional, but not considering what I do. I really want to have kids by like 35, and I wanted to wait till I find a secure relationship, and I want to be able to take care of those kids and put them through school. I would never want my children to drop out of school like I had to do and struggle the way I have. So I'm not going to like spoil my kids, but I will definitely make sure I'm ready to be able to raise a family and be a good mom before I have them. And if my kid happens to decide to want to do OnlyFans, which by the way, probably won't be around, but another platform will definitely be around. Sex work will always be a thing from the beginning of time to the end. I would support her as long as she's safe. But I wouldn't want my kid doing it, obviously.
There goes, that's what I want to know. So why would you not want your kid to do it?
It's really mentally hard, and you have to be really strong for it. I've had a lot of issues with like self-worth and my value, even in dating. It's been kind of hard because I hate to admit it, but a lot of the comments where it's like, you'll never find a high value man that will wife you up or take care of you or start a family with you. And that kind of does get to me sometimes because I am single. But I do believe they're out there. I believe there's people open-minded enough and understand that I've had to do what I've had to do. And I've had fun doing it, at least. It's not like I was forced to do it. So
now, all right. Now, for me, I do have a 4-year-old daughter, and I would never want her to do OnlyFans. However, there's one exception. if she was to do OnlyFans, hey, be Amaranth. Be the Amaranth of OnlyFans. Yeah. Be the best. And I just don't want her to go like, I don't want her to get blasted in her OF. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know there's levels to OF, and some people, they do full on another partner in the scene, multiple people in the scene. And some people just like, oh, I'm just going to take pictures and do sexually suggestive stuff, or maybe play with toys. I really don't want I don't want her to get blasted on OF, if you will. I don't know if that make me a horrible father, but you said it comes with issues with dating. What are some of the issues that it comes with, considering like, hey, you do OF, and do you feel like people are going to respect you less for doing OF?
So I have a lot of self-respect for myself. I grew up in Finland, and nudity is very normal there, and people are very open. So my mindset, I'm not like thinking poorly about myself in that way. I just am scared about like what other people's families would think, or like what they would think deep down. But it does weed out all the people that are like kind of closed-minded.
Yeah, I've dated a stripper way back in the day. And it wasn't like bad per se, but you got to be really strong to date a stripper to know that she's going to take it off for other men. They're going to give her money. And then your ass is picking her ass up from the strip club. And she like, oh, I made this much money. Let's go get something to eat or something.
Well, stripping is also different because people touch you. And in my industry, nobody touches me. The only person that would ever be able to have their hands on me would be a significant other. And I'm also celibate. Nobody believes me, but I haven't had sex in over a year. I decided to go celibate until somebody asked me to be their girlfriend. I think it's just better. And I try to live to not be what people think I am.
Okay, so is there like a stigma with OF girls that, they're all easy, or they're all this, or they're all that?
Yeah, I think so. You see my Instagram and you're like, oh, I bet she's so easy to smash. But like, I just don't want to be that type of girl. I won't say like I've always been like this, but I definitely am trying to enforce it for my own like journey and self-worth. And I've met a couple guys that have been willing to wait. So. Okay.
All right. Well, all right. So you met a couple guys that's been willing to wait, but not. I'm sorry. Not
every guy's willing to mate, but.
All right. So speaking of willing to mate, there is a video out there where you're talking about your body count. Your body count is your tempo, and you're very conscious of your body count. How has that been per se? Do you feel like body count should matter or shouldn't matter to men?
I've gotten to the age and just like maturity where I don't think body count matters, and I don't want to talk about it to anybody. I just don't think it's relevant. I've been with a good amount of people, but I think that was important for like the experience and learning what I like and dislike, and same for dating. Like I've dated a lot of people just to kind of see what I like and don't like. Okay. All right. Yeah. Wow.
All right. So body count doesn't matter. What happens if you meet a guy who says, look, Novaruu, I really like you. And I want to, you to be mine and all that good stuff and have this family, but I need you to stop doing OF.
Okay. Well, I really want to be a stay-at-home mom one day. So if I meet a guy that's willing to make me a stay-at-home mom, I would like to finish my career in like 5 years. So I want to still kind of take advantage of my peak in my career. And then whenever I feel like I'm kind of over it, I'd be willing to like start a family and settle down. But he would need to be a provider. You can't just say like, oh, quit your job, but I'm not going to provide for you. Like, hello, I have so much fun doing what I'm doing. It's like so creative for me. And though I would love to stop one day, like I would need a really good reason, like starting a family. And to start a family, I would need someone to commit to me and also be willing to provide for me. Even though I can provide for myself and my kids, like I would still want that kind of role.
And you want 2 kids, right?
I would like 2 kids, yeah.
Okay. Now with this content, you've collabed with a lot of other people. Who is like your dream collaboration? Like it could be male, female. Who would you want to collab with? What would you want to do?
Well, I've been a big fan of the H3 podcast for the last 2.5 years, so I would really, really love to collab with them. Not even like an interview, just to like hang out or something. I think would be fun.
So you're an Ethan Klein fan, or just a podcast fan?
Yeah, I'm part of the family, H3 podcast family.
And you watch them all the time?
Yeah, I do.
Now, if you were to collab with them, I imagine the questions may be a little bit more hard hitting than mine. You open to doing that? But they say, "Hey, Novaruu, we recently saw you come on. We want you to tell us about this clear chair meta that you created and got everyone banned for, and we want to go into everything about your life. Come sit down with us."
I don't think I'm really like big enough where they would want to interview me, but it would be really fun to do that. And when I'm in the right headspace for it, I'd be willing to go into everything. Like I'm a very open person. I love to talk, and I don't feel like there's any reason to like lie or hide things.
Ooh, okay. I mean, when you start telling the truth, it may ruffle some feathers. When you start telling your story, people may not like it. And
honesty is always the best policy, though. And I think once you kind of understand like my background, where I've come from, think it becomes easier to understand why I do what I do and why I enjoy doing it too.
Okay, so I guess this could be the last question, if you will. What is something about you that no one knows? Like something that you do. I saw you like scuba diving. Do you go diving often?
Oh, I do go snorkeling. I have a reef tank, so I wanted to see the reefs in person. I'm a very spiritual, and I feel like I try to be a grounded person. I manifest by wishing upon shooting stars and praying to the moon. And it's really like nerdy that I just have all these random interests. Like I'm very much a homebody. I love to crochet and play games and spend time with animals and foster. Like I think a lot of people just assume by looking at me something about my personality, but they don't actually know anything. I don't know. Okay. I feel like I'm a very like diverse person. I have a lot of interests.
This is definitely a different side of you. I didn't anticipate. I'm like, all right, well, she's recently went viral. Let me hit her up. Let me see what's going on with this clear chair stuff. What advice do you have to a young lady fresh out of high school who's considering doing OF content?
Don't do it. Okay, I'll tell you why, my reason. Don't do it unless you are 100% sure that you are going to have a following. You should definitely build up a following on like Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, maybe TikTok. It doesn't matter. But if you're not going to have people subscribe to you and day one you have like 2 subs and you show your fucking butthole, sorry for my language, you can censor me, then you are having that on the internet forever and it will live with you for life. When you're 18, you think you know what you're doing, but you don't. Like your brain is not fully developed until you're 25. Like I remember I had an interview when I was 18 with this girl, Lauren Phillips. She had this idea that porn should be illegal to do until you're 25. And I was like, that's so unfair. I think you can do it. And I was just a dumb 18-year-old. And now I'm 25 and I kind of see where she was coming from because that stays with you for life. Though I will say, for when I create a family, no one's going to remember me in 10 years, 15 years. Right? Like nobody's going to remember me. It's going to be fine. I can just fall off the grid and start a family and I'm not worried about it.
See, here's the thing. But
it's still forever.
That's the part. It's forever. So you can have a kid like Kim Kardashian's son is probably at some point going to get teased because of the Ray J tape. That's the like if you can erase the internet, cool. You want to do OF, cool. Faceless OF, fine. But it's forever. So
yeah.
That stigma.
OF is also bad. People will still be able to find you through it. I just don't recommend starting unless you're 100% sure. Like think of a number in your head, how much you want to make, and don't stop until you make that number. And then you're okay with what you've done. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I think. I just did it because I've always been open about my body. I never had a number. I never just but I also just knew that I don't stop until I am happy and content. So I just keep pushing further and further.
Wow. All right. Well, so what's next for Novaruu other than this April Fool's prank that you're probably about to pull off? And what's next? When's the next time you're going to go viral? Is it going to be for creating a new Twitch meta or something different?
I don't know, but I mean, hopefully not for drama. I've been really good about staying out of drama the past couple years. It was rough at the start of my career because I was so young and not mature, but I've learned a lot over the past couple years and I'm really good at staying out of drama now and just kind of staying in my own lane. And also not letting people disrespect me. That's really hard when you just start and everyone's trying to push you down because it's so easy to just be like, oh, she's a leech. Like we don't want her in the sphere. but I made a name for myself, and I feel like I'm like the biggest underdog story on Twitch right now. Like everybody tried to push me down, and I somehow made a name for myself regardless. So I'm really happy.
That is interesting. You said that, that people don't want you in the spear, and you've made a name for yourself. Being, living out in Austin, I can easily see how that perception could permeate throughout the community, if you will. But you, I guess, people gonna say I'm glazing. Maybe I'm a coomer now for doing this interview. But you persevered through a lot where other people probably would have folded and moved the hell out. But kudos to you for standing on your square, if you will.
Even better, a couple weeks ago, I knew that I had potential to like really pop off. So I reached out to like all my ops essentially, and I kind of was like, hey, just letting you know, I just want to apologize for whatever I've done, and I just apologized and was genuine. And some people took that as like genuine, and other people were like, I don't care, I don't want to be your friend. And now those same people are in my DMs asking to collab. So I just I'm really glad I asked people to forgive me and forgave them.
One, I have no idea why you said you would do this interview. I don't care. But two, shout out to you for doing it, because I'm not too popular out in Austin these days, but you did it, and forget your ops, yo. The people who can't move past certain things, let them stay where they are.
No, exactly. I don't hold hate in my heart for like pretty much anybody. So I've let a lot of things go. I believe that those people have grown. I mean, they were my age when all this happened, and I just want to be a good example on how to be a 25-year-old.
Look at this fucking growth. I got some names that's popping up in my head, but I'm not gonna say them because for content purposes. So we're gonna keep it clean. But
well, I think you've always talked about me very respectfully. I like your videos. I think you put a lot of work into them. Hopefully you see my name right now, because at the start you just never said my name right. Or spelled it right.
Oh yeah. I see your name. Everything has been great. Everybody go sub to her wherever you want to sub, whether that be OnlyFans, Twitch.
I watch my Twitch streams.
Watch her Twitch streams.
Which I hope I won't be.
See if she gets banned. Help her stay monetized. And I'm sure all the hate I'm gonna get is gonna be worth it. So in the end,
I don't think you would give me hate.
What? Oh my God. They're going to be like, you're glazing this OF girl. Like, it's going to be people who just don't want you guys to have a platform no matter what.
Oh, of course. But at the same time, it's like, why are you hating the people playing the game? Hate the people that are making the rules.
Well, that is true. Me personally, I just don't care. Her body, I'm like, her body, her choice. I don't care. It's none of my business. I don't care if people support you. I don't care if guys go fucking homeless, tipping you, or any shit like that. Like, people need to take.
Oh my God.
Oh, you didn't hear the story? There's a popular story about a guy going homeless, tipping some top streamer.
That's unfortunate, but at the same time, people are gonna have their addictions, whether it be gambling or alcohol, or even like buying Fortnite skins or something.
Ooh, so
like. At least you're supporting another, like a hardworking woman.
So you don't care if someone goes homeless supporting you, as long as they're supporting you. I will say,
like, there are a lot of people that are really respectful on my fan page, but there are also a lot of people that are really mentally disturbed and abusive and terrible that I definitely wouldn't mind. I mean, I blocked most of them now, despite how much they give me. There was one guy that like sent me a video of him punching himself in the face because I didn't respond to him fast enough. I'm not even joking. So I had to block him, and I was like, get help. He's giving me 10 grand, but I had to block him because I was like, you are not well. You're saying you want to KYS every day on your page. Like, you need to delete your account. Like, go get help.
Wait, he gave you 10 grand in one shot, or just over?
Oh, just over the period of like 2 years. Like, I'd been talking to him for a while, but I had to block him, and I was like, I don't care about your money. Like, I think you should get help and log off this site because this is clearly not well for you. Some people, it's a good thing. Some people, it's not.
What? All right. Now I was trying to end this shit. Now you just opened up a huge can of worms. What is the weirdest thing someone has requested of you on OF? That you did not do, that you were like, I'm not doing this shit. Like, the money is cool, but I draw the line here.
I don't feel like there really is anything. Like, obviously I have my boundaries and things I won't do, but nobody's asked me to do anything like illegal or really bad. Like, most people are pretty respectful.
Okay, and you have no issues like doing that, like with face, without face, like?
Oh yeah, it's fine.
All right, well, Jesus.
I'm in this for life at this point. Like, I'm just here.
For life?
Well, you know, it's like I accepted this is going to be a part of my life, whether I quit or not. Like, this will always be what made me who I am and a huge contributing factor to like where I go in life.
Do you think it will like ever ramp up to you incorporating, let's say, another person like that's not a significant other, like an actor? Like, what's the dude who you would never do it with, like a never?
No.
What if the money?
Some guy messaged me with like 1 million followers, and he had like, I looked at his Twitter, and it is like he was comparing it next to like a water bottle, and it was bigger than the water bottle, and I was like, some women would be so lucky to be me, but like I'm not interested whatsoever.
All right, so what if Adam 22 said, "Hey, look, we're gonna give you 2 million." All right,
I'm celibate. You
and Lena though, like just you and Lena.
I kissed Lena actually before.
What? What? You kissed Lena?
Yeah, and I did that for free, but I would do it again. Doing girl go content, I feel like is different. I wouldn't mind that as much, but like I don't think I would ever have sex with guys on camera for any amount of money. Like I'm pretty strict on my celibacy of like waiting till I'm in a relationship, and I wouldn't change anything.
Okay. Well,
I mean, who's to say what the future holds, but that's how I feel right now.
You know, everyone changes their mind, you know, for the, you know, I'll say this, everyone got a price, you know.
I'm looking to get wifed up, so.
Hey, what do you think about the people who say you're never going to get wifed up? Because I know that has to be out there in the community.
Oh, man. Sorry, my fish tank auto adds water.
It's fine.
Let's go with the interview. To the people that say I'm never gonna get wiped up, I just went on the most amazing date where this.
Would you lie or would you tell them the truth?
I would just tiptoe around what I do.
Like, I'm just a Twitch streamer. I play games on Twitch.
No, because then they're gonna look me up. I already have my plan in mind.
You got like a account that you just, you know, you stream.
No. I'm a multi-platform media manager, and I help content creators post their content.
So you are what you despise the most with these management companies. Is that what you're saying? You like, yeah, I'm gonna just lie to them.
I just feel like I could tiptoe around it. We'll see.
Well, good luck out there in your career pursuits. Stick around for after the interview. All right, everybody, make sure you go subscribe to, you know, whatever platform you want. Novaruu, go check out her streams on Twitch. Help her stay in the Partner Plus program. And maybe we'll do a follow-up interview for a year from now when she's married with kids or something. All right, peace. All right, we're done. That was good.